Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing up there? This is Intergalactic Interviews, and this is episode 170. What in the flying fuck? Who even thought? Who even thought that we'd get to 170? I have no idea. Honestly, I've been thinking about it for a little while now, and I couldn't be more happy than to spend it with a new friend over the years. I think we originally met at a sound check for a show.
Jesus Christ, I was going to say, have I met you before? Because I'm always so fucking drunk. I don't know if I've met somebody or I haven't. I feel like I hadn't met you before. I even went on Facebook and double-checked your pictures, so when we met up, I knew who the fuck I was looking at. But you got to understand, I'm a complete drunk.
That's so funny because I definitely... okay, I'll share this in a second. Let me explain who you are first.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the show. First of all, always C-Mart running the boards. We appreciate that. C-Mart.
What?
How you doing, brother?
1, 2, 3.
And
clap. 1, 2, 3.
Clap 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's our little audio sync we do before the show. You're like, should I clap? I'm like, nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm clapping anyway.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show the very talented, the popular, the wonderful, the amazing Mr. Archive, a.k.a. Joe McNeely. How you doing, sir?
I just got the best verbal blowjob of my life. I'm feeling
right.
pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Feeling all right.
Yeah, you're a co-host of Liquid Sunshine Podcast, one of my favorite shows right now. In addition to that, you're also a founding member of Spit and Giggles.
Damn right.
And your work in the scene, you've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of things. We've been talking off air. How many changes we've seen throughout Vancouver's music history and hip hop specifically.
Yeah, you see a lot of motherfuckers come and go.
A lot come and go. I saw you post flyers the other day of shows I remember attending.
Yeah.
That's fucking, that blows me away that like those are like historical
like
pieces.
2007, 2008 type shit.
And I remember being like, should I go? Yeah, I'll go tonight. What's the big deal? And then now it's like people are like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like,
I don't even remember those shows. I straight up don't, because I've just every single show I got this thing. I don't know if it's called an alcoholism, right? So I just get completely blasted before every show, including this one.
Yeah. Well, it's just good, man, because I'm glad you come in healthy. You're obviously
if you want to call it that.
Yeah, you're doing well, right? That's I don't want to.
Somewhat of a sloth and a mess.
Yeah, I don't want to mischaracterize your ability. Obviously, I know you're doing well. We just actually came from crashing a show around the corner. We were all just about to come down here and do this show. We left the Met as we do pre-drinking.
I love that. You know what? One thing I got to say is, I didn't know what this show was, because when I listen to the show, you guys sound so sober and on point. It's unbelievable.
Said no one ever.
Yeah. Oh no, I swear to God, man. Well, I've only listened to 4 shows. I'm not trying to get twisted, but like but those ones are all over the fucking radar, like all over the spectrum. Like I listened to the Mocha Only.
Yeah.
I listened to the Kids one. I listened to the Scratch Bastard one.
Yeah.
And then the homeboy that you produced, what's his name?
Sorry.
Was it not Macca?
Macca.
Yeah. Macca.
That was the last one I listened to. And I take every single time I listen to it, like, you guys don't seem drunk at all. And on top of that, I always take something from it. Like, I think there hasn't been one episode where I haven't taken something from it.
Oh, that's
cool,
cool, like, man. That's seriously...
Something good came from it.
That's a killer compliment.
That Kids episode, I didn't know that Sting... were you guys fronting? Is there like an undertone like you were joking?
What?
When you guys were talking about how Sting, the wrestler, actually charges Sting, the rock star, $1 for a year for the name?
I don't remember that.
I've like vaguely remember this.
I love that idea though. I was like, but you guys all acted like it was for real, and then I'm like, man, is that for real? But I don't fact check, so I was just like, that's a fact.
That sounds real.
Sounds real enough to me. Yeah. That sounds real to me.
I do know that Sting, the artist,
Kiss from a Rose Sting.
That's Seal, son.
Jesus Christ.
How dare you?
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same.
Dare you, Chris Martin? How dare you?
That was bad. I apologize.
How you gonna fuck up that shit? Kiss from a Rose?
First of all, Homeboy has like 2 songs. He has
I don't know
Kiss
why.
from a Rose, and he has.
I didn't know he had a second one.
Dude, he is. And I wanna fly like an eagle.
Yeah, you're right. You're
fly
right.
like an eagle. And you know
You're
when he's
right.
fucking with that one.
Dude,
I fucked it up.
Banging out Heidi Klum every day, writing new songs. No one wants to hear him.
Yeah,
They
he's
just
fly as fuck.
They just
That's
want
my
to
bad.
hear.
That's my bad.
I know it's your bad. You listen to this motherfucker. He's just like, It's Seal, man. I don't know. It's just
I felt confident.
There's something sexy about Seal, man.
Yeah,
something real sexy about it.
Because he wears that mask every day.
Yeah,
and he that's his life. Like he can't like take that off, and he's still just. Dude,
I derailed this conversation. We were talking about something.
He pulls
Heidi Klum. Fuck? I don't remember what we were talking about.
Exactly. I was gonna say I do know that Sting was sampled by you know what? I actually forget who produced the song, but it was.
Isn't it Desert Rose? Isn't there a song with Sting? I'm gonna look.
There is there is a song called Desert Something, but this is neither here nor there. I'm talking about Nas's second album.
Yeah,
it was written.
Yeah,
literally, the title track.
Desert Rose.
Do you know? Okay, for example, you know the "Hate Me Now" video.
Yeah.
So in the intro of the "Hate Me Now" video, it's playing what song? Joe McNeely.
I don't. Oh shit.
Hip hop trivia.
Oh jeez.
Hip hop trivia. But anyway, that song samples "Shape of My Heart" by Sting.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a fucking terrible fact to just slide in there like I knew something.
I like it. Just throw it in there.
I only knew 1/3 of the information. I didn't know the producer.
I think you're trying to make up for spitting out some fake facts
on
the kids episode when you're like, did you know that Sting the wrestler, because he had the name first, charges Sting the singer $1 a year for the name. And I'm like, I was listening to that, I'm like, man, that sounds like it could be true.
You know what?
It's so fucked up.
It could be true.
It's so ridiculous that it has to be true, or it's just the stupidest thing anybody's ever said.
You know what? There are a lot of stupid things that get said out there, but
on this show specifically,
but C-Mart's role on the first podcast we ever did together, not this show, but we used to do a show called the Boomcast. His role was fact checker, and he used to just like be furiously like, imagine someone changing the channels.
Yo, fact check that shit,
dude. He used to crazy fact check. His hands are so busy now though because he has to do this. Did you look up that Sting piece? What did it say?
Desert Rose. I fucked it up. Desert Rose. Anyway,
look up if Sting the wrestler and Sting the singer have any connection.
Okay, well I'll do that.
Okay, wait, and just before you do that though, C-Mart. I was going to let you guys know there are some stupid things that get said on this fucking show.
Yeah, I already said several of them.
Yeah, well, no, I
feel like it's a competition now.
Yeah, I certainly add to it. I'll tell you that all the time, like every show. And I'll tell you this.
Musician. Sorry, just want to be clear. Musician Sting versus
the wrestler Sting.
Just ask.
That's fine.
Because Jacob evolved. Look at old Jacob over there.
Yeah, yeah.
That was his favorite wrestler.
Yak.
And then it moved into some weird shit where that got mentioned as a fact and no one even laughed. So I'm like, yo, is that a motherfucking fact?
That's because when Yak gets on the mic, I'm always waiting for it to be like, dude, I love rapping like Jake evolved, man. I love it. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things. He'll always be like, yo. Everything eventually comes down to a pyramid mention or something. Like he'll be like, yo, the isosceles rolling with Egyptians, man, and now I'm flipping. This is science, is nonfiction, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And then he'll be like, yo, but really, what's happening? I'm not even mad at you. I still got the same eye color and shade as Cleopatra. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, everything comes down to some Egyptian shit. I love it, man. I love Jake so much, man. The amount of times he's dropped bars for me in studio, and I have to like, I don't know, like we have this record coming out, this whole album, Love Misunderstood, ready to go.
Fuck yeah, and you produced it.
Yeah, the whole thing, and it's ready to go out the door.
I've seen you doing those fucking Facebook videos where you're playing the piano.
Yeah, man. Thanks, bro.
Dude. Right in my heart piece. That's beautiful, man.
Do you play an instrument?
I don't play anything.
So you just like watching, and have you ever like tried?
I like to watch.
You should. In the corner.
Yeah, I don't have any. I'm pretty talentless. I like to rap a little bit.
That's not true.
I like to talk shit a lot. Those are like my two main things.
I love your stage presence, man. I've seen you rap several times. I think you're dope.
Yeah. That's the thing. I feel like I know this motherfucker, but you gotta understand, like, I'm such a drunk. Sometimes I gotta meet somebody like 5 times before.
That's okay.
Like,
honestly, the only reason I specifically remember meeting you is because we were at the Media Club, which is now a dead venue.
And that was the joint.
It was my favorite venue in the city. I have no problem saying that. But we are the Media Club at a sound check. And I was doing like an Instagram story or something like that, and I was behind the boards, and I was spinning for Mizzy that night, and then you came up like you came up with I forget who was DJing for you guys tonight, but he's very nice. I forget his name. He was super nice.
Ted D, maybe?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And it was like the three of us behind the board standing back there, and you introduced yourself. And in my story, you're like hanging out, and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, you were fucking really nice, actually. It was really good dude.
I'm always nice, but I'm usually shit-faced hammered to the point where I don't understand.
You rolled up with a legit like 40 of like OE or some shit like that.
That sounds like something I do for sure.
Yeah, and you're like, what's going on, bro? And I was like, what's going on? You're like just getting ready.
It might not have been a 40, but it was something in a paper bag.
It was something paper bag.
I like my white wine too, so it's a little bit classier.
Oh, okay.
But it's still fuck you right the fuck up.
MD, I was drinking fucking Black Tower. How dare you? I was like, well, it could have been anything because it was in a paper bag in another bag.
I'm walking around. To this day, I walk around like that.
Okay, yeah. I did you find an answer to that question?
Which one? The
wrestler sting.
So I did find a couple things here.
What does it say?
So there is on at least one. I don't have a camera on it, but there is a Sting versus Sting Clash of the Titans here poll on.
Oh, that's just a poll.
I know. I'm just saying. Ultimately, Sting wrestler won, 62 to 37, and then there is this image here. I believe this is accurate.
Okay, hold on. Can you throw a camera on that?
I can't. Here, give me 1 second.
Is that Sting playing guitar on stage with Sting?
I believe so. Here, let's.
Make my job easier, C-Mart. Can you do that? Just swing that over. Boom, boom, boom. We love this.
Sting.
Oh yeah,
Sting.
Yeah, you love this. This is great for the audio listeners.
Oh yeah,
they love this.
Let me just let
me describe it then.
I'm an audio listener.
Okay.
I would hate this shit.
All right. Well, this is Sting on stage looking like pre-Crow Sting, I should mention. Yeah. So he's not like in his like Crow makeup.
Early 80s Sting, mid 80s
And then he's wearing like a nice 80s tank top with like Bret Hart shades, it looks like.
Yeah, he's looking fly.
And shirtless with actual Sting.
And then actual Sting. Can I say actual Sting? It's just like
they're all actual.
I think that's a debate. Weren't you saying that like Sting the wrestler had the name first?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna say that. I don't know. What is this? I remember reading somewhere that it says it on Reddit.
Yeah, this is a Reddit thing.
I remember reading somewhere that Sting owns the rights to the name, but sells it to the other Sting for $1 a year. That's a Reddit comment from 4 years ago.
But it also may be incorrect, obviously, because it's Reddit.
Maybe you're the one that fucking pushed that on people.
The username. That's so weird. If I said that and then
you said that. You said that
weird.
shit.
That's weird.
You said that fucking shit.
That'd be weird if this is how it came full circle and we verified our own fact.
Someone on Reddit said that shit.
Yeah. Hold on.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
This is on Uproxx, well noted, respected.
Well, yeah, exactly. Not now.
Did you know that Sting the wrestler owns the rights to the name and lets Sting the musician use it for a rumored $1 per year?
Also, every bee has to give him a portion of their honey.
Yeah, but look at
every time they sting someone.
Look at the source that it referenced, though. It said Intergalactic Interviews. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true.
That's weird. No, I didn't. No,
you posted that fact, didn't you?
Yeah, I posted that on Uproxx.
You're waiting for this interview.
Anyway,
thanks for verifying the facts.
I'm out here.
Yeah, that's good.
We're doing this.
I actually do have a ton of facts that I want to say to you guys, and they're unbelievable facts.
Okay, give them to me.
I've been waiting to do this since we started.
Okay.
If you are so kind, I would like to just say this, and I want to hear your instant reactions, both of you. Okay.
Okay. For sure, facts. So you're not fucking around.
Mr. Archive, I never fuck around. Okay.
That's not true.
I've listened to podcasts.
That's a lie.
You fucks around.
I do fuck around a little bit, but for you,
all right.
These are some true facts.
Truths.
True facts.
Truths.
Okay. Here we go. The first recorded use of the abbreviation OMG was in a 1917 letter to Winston Churchill. Fact.
Oh my God, but it wasn't oh my God though. It was something else.
No, it was definitely oh my God.
No,
it was OMG.
Okay, so we have fact or not fact?
That's a fact.
How about fact or fucked?
Okay, fact or fucked.
That's fucked.
Okay, check this out.
That's not true.
That doesn't sound true to me.
Yeah. Check this out.
Where are you getting these facts from?
No. We got to finish the thing. Fact or, I say fucked.
Oh, wait. Okay, so you guys guess. Okay, so C-Mart, what do you say? Fact or fucked?
I say that's fucked.
Fucked.
You both say it's fucked.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That's a fact.
Really?
It's a fact. 1917. They have the letter. The letter. Yeah.
But he's saying these are all facts.
Maybe.
Right, let's keep going.
Or maybe they're fucked. Who knows? You tell me. Does this sound like fact or fucked?
I'll tell you.
Tiffany was a common name in the 12th century. It was short for Theophania. It sounds so modern, though, that modern authors and historians tend to avoid it. This is known as the Tiffany problem.
I don't feel like that's a problem at all. I feel like Tiffany could be a name in any century.
So
that's a fact.
It's a fact. It is a fact.
Yeah, of course.
But
all of them are facts. He's already telling us.
This game's
calling it fucked.
Calling it fucked.
I already said it was all facts. So,
it's not a game.
Okay. How about this?
I call him to question the research here.
Yeah.
How about
We're
this?
allowed to not believe him if we want.
All right. You can definitely look this up if you want to confirm this. But is this fact or fucked, boys? You tell me. A very large percentage, close to 95% of all modern thoroughbred racehorses can trace their lineage back to a single horse.
That sounds like fact for sure because they've been breeding those fucking crazy outs, shooting them with steroids, making them run. It's animal abuse.
That's
a fact.
That horse was named Eclipse because it was born during an eclipse in 1764.
Yeah, it was the first horse to be injected with steroids.
it was so,
and then forced to have several babies.
Yeah, just studded for the rest of his life, basically. It was so successful
C-Mart says, fucked.
It was so successful that it retired from competition after no one would bet on any rival horse.
And then it kicked the shit out of its owner.
Oh, man, that's great.
Ran away into the wild.
Yeah. The comment on that fact is, man, that horse must have fucked.
Oh, yeah, it fucked. She fucked. Or he fucked.
I don't think bred animals have a choice.
You don't think so?
I don't know. You know what? As fucked
terms
up
of
as it is, I wouldn't mind just standing around getting jerked off every once in a while.
Fair.
This is my job.
Stand there, get jerked off.
I run a good race.
I get race every once in a while. In between races, someone comes and puts a little slit on me.
Yeah.
I get jerked off. It's all gravy.
This fact blew me away just because it shows like really the size disparity. Like it just shows how
Are we still talking about horses?
Yeah. This shows the map disparity though of like what you see on a map versus like the actual land mass.
Okay. I'm gonna pre-say fucked.
Pre-fucked. Okay, so fact or fuck, boys. There's a fence in Australia that is longer than the distance from Seattle.
I know, that's very true.
Wait. There's a fence in Australia that is longer than the distance from Seattle to Miami.
It's known as the Great Dingo Fence, is it not?
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and isn't, like, Australia smaller on the globe than it actually would be on a map?
Oh, yeah.
Like, so when they do that modern map and they show everything, like, Australia's
that's scale.
I think you're thinking Greenland.
To true scale, because we've been fucked
around. Australia is also a victim of what you're referring to, C-Mart, but it is Greenland. And actually, Greenland and Iceland are flipped.
Yeah, I heard that
Greenland's very small and Iceland's mega.
And I heard that Iceland's very green and Greenland's very icy.
That's classic knowledge, yeah. Stupid. That's a good one.
Silly.
Stupid Anglo-Saxons. That's just dumb. That's not surprising to me.
It hurts my feelings
that someone fucked that up. Yeah. I mean,
I don't think it's by accident.
I blame it on the Nazis.
Okay, here we go.
Fair.
Can we just blame everything on the Nazis?
We could.
We're doing that from now on.
Okay, how about this? Fact or fucked? A single pineapple takes 2 years to grow in full size.
Jesus Christ. Well, everything's fact.
Did you know that?
No.
I didn't know that.
How many?
2 years calendar.
Pineapple.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
But hey, they're delicious. It's worth it.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Especially on pizza. Pineapple is wonderful.
Holy fuck.
I will say
you are the
fact.
worst person ever.
Fact.
I can't believe you put pineapple on your pizza.
Seriously? You're against that?
Yeah, both of you should be dragged in the street. Absolutely.
You should taste my nut. It's delicious.
There's no way. There's no way.
That's not part of the
I'd rather do that than taste fucking pineapple on pizza. Ew.
You'd rather drink my nut?
Ketchup on pasta.
Fact. That's a fact. How about that? I'd rather do that than that. Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
Do you like any fruit, MD?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
What's your favorite fruit?
I like tomatoes. I like avocado.
Okay, so what's your favorite?
You fuck with the weird fruits that people don't know.
What's your tradition?
You're pretty much like a
like
vegetable,
peppers.
think it's fruit kind of guy.
I like peppers. Or pepper's fruit.
What is your traditionally most favorite fruit from the traditionally accepted fruit family, a.k.a. plums, strawberries, blueberries, pineapple? Pick a fruit that is accepted. Okay.
Right.
Apples
You're
are
a boring ass motherfucker when it comes to fruit.
Yeah. Why would you like fucking papaya there?
I fuck some papaya. I'm more of a mango kind of motherfucker, but
mango. I just I had mango right in the chamber, ready to go. I knew you were gonna say.
I like berries in general.
I also love strawberries. How about that? Throw that up there.
There we go.
Why? What are your
now
fucking
you're a
favorite?
human again.
Yeah, back to barely human. Well, what's your favorite, C-Mart? Do you have favorite fruits?
Cherries for sure.
Really, I hate cherry.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
You don't like things that are good. So
I had a good ripe cherry. fuck my shit right now.
Like C-Mart said, I'm not surprised at all. Like he's like, not surprised.
If we can have a realistic conversation
Can
about
we point it out
food.
that he's not wearing shoes?
Well, he's not wearing shoes
and he's got the most colorful socks ever. Can we point a camera at them things?
They're really nice.
Look at it.
His
show off the shoes. Why the fuck? Okay, I guess everybody in here, I didn't know this. Here's a fact.
Oh, people don't know that.
We're supposed to fucking come in here and take our shoes off.
Well, because it's an aquatic spa.
That's something that and I've listened to the podcast. I didn't know that. This is like there's like float rooms. It's very moist in here and heaty. This is like and we're in a big beehive right now.
Yeah.
It's also because because when we come in, other people come into the float house and take their shoes off, and they don't want people tracking dirt through because they're taking their shoes off.
Right?
So.
That's what I stepped in. I came from Surrey.
No, fair enough.
I trampled in some shit.
That's the Surrey. That's a Surrey handshake, isn't it? You come in, just wipe your feet, and
fuck your couch.
So rude.
I only take my shoes off in here really when it's like raining out because it's really easy to fuck up these floors.
You're a gentleman.
Barely. I didn't take them off today. So,
yeah.
How about this? Fact or fucked? The amount of possible variations in the order of a deck of cards is so high that when you shuffle, there's a pretty good chance that the order of the cards post-shuffle is the first time that order has ever occurred.
Ooh, that's fucked.
Now that is fucked in like I can't believe it, but it's a fact.
That's interesting. No, fair enough.
You already said you claimed these as a list of facts before you started saying them.
Yeah.
So this
I've claimed fact all the time.
But all these sound like they're not believable.
Yeah, they're all fucked.
But they all sound fucked, but they're a fact.
They are all fucked.
Yeah. How about
is this what you've been waiting for, just in case an interview was too boring? You're like, yo, you're like,
he's got some Uproxx videos.
Like,
he's got some fucking.
Is not interesting. Yeah. We're just gonna go with fact or fuck. I've been holding off on this for 170 episodes. We're doing fact or fuck tonight, homie.
Yeah, I've been holding on to this for a special
I would kind of
episode.
prefer if fact or fuck was not based on fact. I would like to. Maybe I should look up some fact or fuck shit.
You need to switch it up. So there's some. There's some. I told you I'd do that.
Yeah.
So there's a fucking. There needs to be a line. There needs to be some non-facts.
Seriously.
And some fucking real facts.
This blows me away though. Like, but how about this one? Okay.
Okay.
This actually, I don't even know if I can beat this one. Okay.
Okay.
Fact or fucked? The Oxford University, familiar, is older than the Aztec Empire. What?
Huh?
Oxford University.
Oh, because it came from somewhere else before it came here. Oxford was somewhere where did Oxford come from?
England.
Like it's
England.
England. Yeah. But check it out.
Interesting. From which empire? Sorry.
The Aztec Empire.
I don't know much about the Aztec Empire,
So,
but I know that the British Empire has been around for a long time.
Yeah, but I mean, that's an interesting fact. That's a weird
Maybe
one.
the Aztecs just died out, and then it was like boom.
No. It would have been when they started. Well, they would have come from a different. They would have come from a different.
Well, the British probably killed them, right?
Well, no, they wouldn't have even reached it.
I think the
yet.
Spanish killed them.
Yeah, the Spanish.
But
one of the two. You can guarantee. You can name anything. Either the British or the Spanish killed them.
White.
Now America,
Hold on.
of course.
White people.
Yeah.
Killed the fuck out of them.
C-Mart, you can actually look this up if you'd be so kind. But when did Oxford University actually? When was it founded? Because it says here the Aztec Empire was founded 1430.
Jesus Christ.
So I think Aztecs. I'm like, oh, this is like 4000 BC or some shit. But no.
No. Like Mesoamerican empires are like. Some of them are old, obviously.
Yeah.
But like they kind of reformed into things.
That's right. So I think they mean like the actual
there would have been
empire.
Like Aztecs, I'm just going to talk shit for 1 second. Like maybe 150 years old by the time the Spanish showed up, but there would have been previous empires that are like they built themselves on.
Oh,
right?
I see. Okay,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's
not like people.
Can we talk about rap again? The fuck we talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, listen, I'm bringing in a fucking ringer for this show. He knows tons about Aztecs and shit.
Yeah. He's gonna know all the answers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe McNeely,
the Aztec professional.
So
Professor Aztec.
Okay, so quickly to say, Oxford claims formation in 1092.
Damn.
922 years ago.
I honestly
when the University of Oxford was established.
I thought they were like Egypt old. Like I thought it was like.
Yeah, Aztecs sound old as fuck.
Damn.
But again, anyway, we could look into that. I don't know if that's where we need to go right now, but there's an interesting conversation there.
That's so fucking crazy, man. I guess there's one more here I'll say. and then we'll fucking end this shit and get into some rap. How
Okay.
about that? How about that? Let's make it a good one. Okay, everyone knows that John F. Kennedy died on November 22nd, 1963.
Allegedly.
How?
If you want to believe that shit.
Yeah. However, what most people don't know is that authors Aldous Huxley and C.S. Lewis died the same day.
Oh,
Really?
coincidence? I think not.
Two insanely fucking talented writers. That is crazy. I didn't know that they died the
Yeah,
same
because
fucking
they were probably
day.
writing about JFK and they just wanted to cover everything up all at the same time.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
Aldous Huxley wrote The Doors of Perception. You ever read that shit?
No, I don't read.
Very, very intense. It's actually what inspired.
I wait for the movie. Is there a movie?
Well, that book, The Doors of Perception, inspired Jim Morrison to found The Doors.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's one of the bands that I'm in love with that my wife hates.
What? Really?
Yeah.
My father is major into The Doors growing up, so
I like it.
I love it. Yeah, I love The
I
Doors.
fucking love it, and I play it every once in a while in the house. She's like, this is shit. And it's funny because I hear other people talking about how Jim Morrison was shit. He's not that great of a lyricist. I hear it every
Seems like
once
a
in
shit
a while.
opinion.
I don't believe in it, but it's funny because
I do hear people shit talk him.
I thought it was just her. Like I'm like maybe she just has a shit opinion of music, but then I hear it. There's a group of people that truly fucking dislike that.
Yeah,
shit.
which I think it comes out of like
Not having a soul.
Could be.
That's probably it.
It's hard to prove that, unfortunately.
Yeah. You know, honestly, that sounds like the reason.
That's probably it.
I think
Something
it actually.
spiritual like
I
that.
think it comes from. People basically always touting like Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, the 27 Club thing. I think when people want to look at what validates that, and then they look at their body work, they go, "Wasn't that impressive?" Meanwhile, People Are Strange is like shits on
amazing.
anything.
It's amazing.
Anything. It's like the most fucking insane.
Dude, he's poetic as fuck.
Oh god,
He's all dark and handsome. How you fucking with that?
dude, he's so good.
Yeah.
I just love that he was like. I love the fact that he was an artist in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
Like this is exactly how I see it, and if anyone tries to infringe on that, I will go to jail over this.
And
I
I'm
will
also a
fucking-
big fan of like any successful shit show.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I love
Yeah.
being a shit show myself.
Yeah.
When I see other people just thriving off being a shit show, I'm like, there we go.
I know,
That's
right?
why I love Old Dirty Bastard. That's why, any of those motherfuckers.
Yeah. Who do you really like right now, current modern era? That's a shit show that we're watching unfold live.
Danny Brown, I guess, kind of, but I think he might be fronting a little bit
See,
about a shit show.
See, I don't think he is legitimately a shit show. I think he is very good.
He's
Can
a
we talk about who
strategic
that
shit
is?
show.
I don't know who that is.
He's
Oh.
just you know who Danny Brown is? Get this guy the fuck out of here.
That's
Just
right.
Get him out of here.
Chris Martin, noted hip hop
Chat.
enthusiast, obviously.
I'm just
fucking.
I just want a little clarity for our listeners.
Yo, bro, why don't you tell C-Mart, and for the benefit of our listeners that don't know, who Danny Brown is.
Okay, well, Danny Brown became popular about 5 years ago,
right?
6 years
Or
ago.
2013, yeah.
But he'd been rapping for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had some underground tapes that were popular in Detroit. He's a classic shit show. I love motherfuckers that don't have their shit together. Even if he does have his shit together,
Yeah.
he looks like he doesn't have his shit together. He's got like a big sideways ass afro that hangs down his face. He's missing half his front tooth.
He has a very unique voice.
And he sounds like a motherfucker like Dave Chappelle, like making fun of something.
Yeah, like,
champ, what the fuck's up?
I'd fucking do this if I could. And everything's about like legit just doing
Yeah,
coke.
doing drugs, and like how big his dick is, and how he's gonna fuck all your bitches.
Yeah.
I love that
Okay.
shit.
See, I love.
All right, sorry.
I love like really ignorant shit like that.
Yeah, me too.
I love it. I love it. And then on the other hand, there's like shit that's coming out right now that I feel is trying to emulate that, but it doesn't feel as authentic. It doesn't feel as genuine.
Well, didn't one of those dudes just overdose? Little Xanax or some shit like that?
Lil Peep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're referring to Lil Peep.
Yeah.
Now, I've never even heard a second of this guy's music.
You know what's funny? When he died, I was like, okay, I need to find out who this motherfucker is.
But then I did listen after he
and I
died.
don't mind it.
It's okay. I feel like if he came out in 2002 versus 2017, I think you'd find that people would actually think he's just like a rap rock guy.
He is very rap rock.
Yeah, it's honestly, for some reason, it gets painted with this emo sad boy rap thing that they're going on. But the reality of it is, it's like, I don't know, dude, that sounds like Rick Rubin fucking, POD, some shit. Some of it, you know what I mean? It doesn't really sound like...
I don't mind it at all.
I don't know. It's just like trap rap.
So rest in peace,
trap metal.
Little Zeke.
Peep. Jesus.
Has anybody ever mentioned that like people are walking by with their shirts off going into the fucking...
Yeah.
Did people talk about this on the podcast?
Occasionally people talk about the fact... Like, we also have the massive bay window behind you. Like, some people don't know that are listening. Like, so we often have people stop and wave to us on the show.
It's just like Save on Meats over there. Save on Meats Radio. They're right on East Hastings.
I love that, man.
You guys are pretty much like butt to butt.
I like the fact that they're right there, man. Shout out to Young Nige, man.
Yeah,
I love the fact that there's so much good content going on right now. You guys, let's talk about your show for a bit. Definitely. I love Liquid Sunshine Podcast right now. Your affiliation with Abort Mag, is kind of serving as like
I think that came about because of Young Nige. Young Nige used to write for them back in the day.
Okay.
And I was just rapping, talking shit, blogging every once in a while because I'm just obsessed with local hip hop. So I was talking shit, or like promoting myself or promoting somebody I love, but I was just doing on some random blog. And Young Nige was like, yo, what you're doing is dope, and people are actually looking at it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna get out of the whole abort thing, like, because I don't have time for it. So he put me on to Scott, who was running it.
Yeah.
And I just started writing, and it had nothing to do with the podcast. I did like articles and shit like that for Abort. But I got sick of it because it was more like, he'd be like, yo, tonight this week you're gonna review this dude. And like some guy from Toronto, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I don't give a fuck who he is, right?
Okay.
Because I'm all about, I don't know, like I love Canadian hip hop, but like I'm Vancouverite, and I really I'm like trying to push anything that's dope in Vancouver.
Because you have the opportunity to also meet them personally.
And totally. And then on top of that, like I like my own, like being able to have the opportunity to choose who I want to interview, right?
Right.
So I kind of got sick of that pretty quick. And then it just stopped happening. Scott could feel that I wasn't digging it. Even though I was going to shows and stuff, it was dope. I got tickets to all the dopest shows, and I got to review some cool shit. And like those guys treated me well.
Yeah.
But it kind of just died off. And then we started doing the podcast just because of Saucy Slick and CeeLo were doing it with somebody else. I forget who it was, some other rap dude. And it just didn't, like, it was too, like, they were sitting around and it was too, like, planned out. Like, there was
formal.
just, like, it was too formal, and they didn't like it. And I guess Sauce and CeeLo came to an agreement. They're like, yo, we got to get Mr. Archive on here.
Yeah.
He's a lunatic. Let's fucking mix it up. Let's make it just like, let's get loosey-goosey now. And I was doing a radio show back then. So I stopped doing the radio show, started doing the podcast. And it just
Where were you doing the radio show, if I can ask?
Yeah.
Let's bring it back to that. Rewind. I wish Saucy Slick was here to do good rewind for me. Back in the day when I first started rapping, I'd go around everywhere promoting it, as one would.
Yeah. Of course.
Not where there wasn't too much internet shit going on. Was like maybe MySpace was around and shit like that. People used to actually run around with CDs in their backpack and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I was doing that everywhere, going everywhere. And I went by CFRO with my homeboys. This is back when we were doing random henchman shit. Me and Flip the Lip and all the boys back in, like, I don't know. It's like 10 years ago.
I love Random Henchman, by the way.
Me too. I miss it.
It's dope.
We do every once in a while. We'll drop like just a random jam.
Yeah.
And those are my boys. That's my family.
It's a good crew.
Oh, I love those guys. And we went by the radio show. We went by CFRO, No Apologies Necessary, one night. And and it's dope because they've always had the doors open. I actually phoned him, and he's like, come down. And Tamim B was running it, and he's dope. He's a legend. And he's a dope MC and a killer host. He was like, he's perfect for radio.
Yeah.
Super confident dude. And he's like, come down. So we came down, dropped him the CD. He's kind of guy that he's more interested in the people than even the music. Like, he's very good at interviewing. It doesn't have anything, it almost has nothing to do with music.
Yeah.
He's good at getting things out of people. So we're sitting around, we're spitting the shit, and me and Tamim are just banging off things back and forth, just talking shit,
yeah,
and getting really into hip hop. And when I was about to leave, he's like, yo, you want to come back to the show? And just come co-host with me, just randomly,
dude. That's
like, I was with a bunch of dudes. So it was like I would just be, I'm drunk talking shit, right? And
Allegedly.
He liked that I was drunk talking shit.
That's a major push,
though. Yeah, so I came by, started doing the show with him. I did it with him for like a year straight, just as co-host, and he had to leave just because he had adult shit to do. And I was still being a child like I am today. And so he bounced out, and I ran the show for a bit until I had some more, because it was Wednesday at 3 till 6 or 3 till 5 or something like that. And this guy Kenan came along, and he was like a folk dude. So like the show started being like half local hip hop, half folk, which was kind of strange, but it was cool. But as long as it's local, that's what I was all about, right? And we were having fun. He's a good guy, and he just took over the show. And it died off for a while. I wasn't doing shit, and then it picked back up. And I was dying for it, man, because like I love doing shows and shit, and I love making music. But I also I really like giving back to the community, and I love interviewing people. I like when I find somebody that I'm interested in, and I think they're dope, I want to like expose them as much as humanly possible. And because I feel like when I was growing up and doing this hip hop shit, we didn't have any of that. Like I came up what we call like the drought. Like there wasn't much going on. The shows are smaller. You know, this is when Snack and them were just coming up. Like we were doing shit shows. Like, you know, like be like 20 people there. You know, like, and straight up. And nobody was giving anybody support. There was this huge generation gap between the Rascals and like guys
Defenders
like
of the Faith,
and the main dude, like all the dudes that I really looked up to,
because they were like major dudes, and then there was no real mid card, so to speak. And it was just like a bunch of us like starting out. I totally remember that when I moved here in 2005. It was like the drought.
It was the fucking drought of hip hop in Vancouver.
That's part of the reason why I started doing podcasts. Actually, is because I had a conversation with a fellow producer, and he told me, he was like, you know what the problem with Vancouver is? There's a ton of head, but there's no body. There's no body to support the head. He's like, there's a ton of people that want to be the guy, but there's no infrastructure to take care of that.
Absolutely not.
And I saw a complete opening like you're talking about, and I take great pleasure in exposing great people and great conversations. We share that in common to a large degree, like to the realm of like, I think if that's the only thing we had in common, we would be good friends. Like that's how, you know what I mean? Yeah. So
I'm also the first motherfucker to tell somebody that they fucking suck or fuck off. You know what I mean? But like, I really embrace things I like. I also, and I love other personalities. Yeah, like, we've had people on the podcast that suck. You know, and like,
allegedly.
And then, you know what, fuck that shit, allegedly. You know, like, we've had people on the podcast, and then like I don't know them, and then they come on the podcast, they want to be on, and then they interview shit, and they're not a good, and they're a shit person, and we still bang it out like it's normal. And like I don't fuck with them too much, but never again.
That's what I like about you,
right?
That's what I like
shit
about you. Shit
person is different than shit talent, right?
Yeah.
Like it's one person.
Sometimes they go hand in hand.
Yeah, no, totally fair. But I think that it's reasonable to make the difference, right?
Yeah. I mean,
but I see what you're saying.
That's what I like about you, though. Like, Joe, like seriously, like what I like about you is like every time I've chatted with you, you are extremely positive, and your energy is through the roof towards making everything as dope as you fucking appear to feel. You know what I mean? So I'm super into that. And in addition to that, my favorite part about all this is that you understand putting people over. Like, you get it. Like the way to best. The way to best serve anyone in any social situation is to serve underneath. Like people that are trying to like heavy hand people, like let me help you up. I'll co-sign you and shit like that. It's like that's the opposite of what you need to do. You actually need to elevate people to like. There's no like I get no fucking greater joy than when I see someone doing awesome, and I can just like even partially give an avenue for someone to like check that out. You know what I mean?
Especially these fucking like enlightened, happy motherfuckers, like guys like the kids that are all like gentlemen. They're sophisticated. They have mad knowledge. People. They're great people. And then on top of that, they're fly as fuck when it comes to rapping. When I was listening to the Mocha Only podcast he did, that's something they brought up. He's like, I'm getting sick of this fucking like these shitty suburban wannabe gangsters. Yeah. Like, and I've always been like, he is just.
And that was like what, 4 years ago or something like that. Like he said that.
Man, damn rights. Yeah. Damn rights. We're all sick of them.
And now
if you have a shitty attitude and you're a dope rapper, you're still shitty in my mind. Yeah. I don't want you near me. I don't want that energy anywhere near me at all.
I hate it. I honestly dislike I just like the attitude of like there's this weird thing I've learned producing, especially a lot of newer rappers. Like for a long time I was producing guys doing their first jams ever. Yeah. So I was like a developmental producer for a long time. So I had this weird thing where people are acting in a way because of their title / role as an artist, they were acting a way that they felt justified all of their behavior. So if they weren't a musician or they weren't an artist or something like that,
yeah,
I would just be so blown away by how rude and just basically uncouth this person could be in any kind of manner, completely impolite in every regard.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and they would find it's justifiable because they're a rapper or something like that.
Fuck that shit.
I cut that out. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've just been like,
I've smacked the shit out of a rapper for being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's happened more than once.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Well, yeah. I just I learned a couple of years ago, because I used to just really have it out with people, but I learned like a while ago that okay, you're like that. You're like this fucking rude whatever person I don't want to be around or something like that. You're this really shitty rapper that thinks they have everything. Or person. Yeah. I'll just be like, oh, okay. Now I'm so glad I know that about you. I'm just gonna make moves around you.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I just make moves around you, and
so will everybody else. They'll just disappear.
And by the time they wake up, they go, "Whoa, wait, where? How come no one calls me for shit anymore? How come no one does that?" It's just
because you're a shitty person.
We moved on because you're
Damn
terrible.
right.
But I also believe, and this is almost like I think to a fault sometimes, but I also believe in redemption, in that I think offering people that seem like they're the worst the opportunity of just hug them and just let them know that, like, hey, you know what? You don't have to be like this. Yeah. You can be a better person, and let them start their.
I think especially when they're like a talent too, right? Like
that's my main
if you
thing,
hear someone who's like, hey, I think that your ideas are, you know, I mean, sorry, as an artist, you're doing good things, but your approach or your attitude or the way that you're doing it is like misguided, and maybe, you know, you give them a shot to try to like improve that, and they can take it or not. And I think that is valid, to your point of like definitely. Redemption, right?
Some people change.
You're totally right.
Some people change. You know, emotions is a prime example, and he knows it, and he talks that shit. Like, I remember when we interviewed him, I was like, yeah, I remember like you being kind of like that cocky dude. That motherfucker that wouldn't talk to anybody else. He had his clique. They were like super rude. They thought they were better than everybody back then.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Totally. They were dope. Like, Fourth World was the shit. But but even like nowadays, like guys like the kids aren't acting like that. You know what I mean?
No,
but like they acted like that. And I remember being really young and thinking those guys are way older than me. And like thinking that Emotions was the biggest dick on earth. And then meeting him several years later and telling him that, and him being like, yo, yeah, I was. And like, I've changed because lots of people have told me that, and I've come across that shit several times.
But he put himself pretty in the community in that way, so he exposed that.
And now he's the dopest dude. Yeah, like, he's fucking chill
He seems
as
really,
fuck, man.
He seems really cool. I'll be honest, I've never met him.
Shit.
I haven't actually talked to Dave in years, man. But Emotions is like one of the first dudes. When I moved out here in 2005, he was one of the first dudes to put me on a show. I saw a fucking, speaking of flyers, we were talking earlier, like old flyers. I saw a flyer I was on, and it was like, it was at the old Modern. Do you remember Modern?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, in Gastown.
I loved it.
So it was at, I think it was called Modern. I don't know, but
Modern.
Yeah, it was, right. It changed like names like fucking 5 times since then. But
classic Vancouver.
Yeah, I was at the Modern, and like the Mighty A-Pause was on there, and I was like, holy fuck, I met him. That's Tyler. I ended up becoming very good friends with
Tyler's
A-Pause.
the homie, yeah.
I love A-Pause.
Yeah, he's dope.
Like, I met him on that show. I think that's the first time I ever met Atticus.
Yeah, Atticus is the fucking
all on this bill. I'm like looking at this whole flyer, and there's a couple other dudes in there. I'm trying to remember right now. I think that was the first time. I think the I don't want to speculate, but basically, yeah, it was just like all these people came together. It was these shows he was throwing in. I was like, that's interesting. I also had similar experiences that you were describing, though, with him, where I felt like he definitely knew he had an edge in contacts, and he had an edge in experience when I came in. And I remember actually, I've never shared this story once, but I remember walking up on a show like that, because I did a couple of his like Monday Night Lives or whatever he did.
Oh yeah.
And I remember walking up to one of these shows, and I was waiting just to say hey, like that I had arrived at the venue, and I walked up, and I was seriously in queue, like waiting for someone else that was in front of me talking to him, and he was sitting there chatting to this dude. I don't know who this guy was, but there was another rapper on the bill, and the guy was like, they were mid-argument about something, okay? And so when I walked up, this is what I heard. I walk up, and he goes, and all I hear is Emotions. I just heard Dave being like, yeah? okay, buddy, if you think so, go ahead. And then the guy's like, man, don't even be like that. And then I heard
that was your lead into saying, what's up?
wait. And then I heard Emotions say, you know what? I will give you, I think he said, I will give you like $1,000 if you can prove that to me, if you can prove it to me.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, he's like, I'm just saying.
Oh,
and
we got to know what that was.
The thing was, here's what he ended up saying. He ended up saying, he's like, look, I'm telling you right now, if you can do 150 shows in 1 year, I'll give you $1,000. He's like, I'm telling you, you're not going to do 150 shows.
He would know.
That
probably. Emotions, one of those motherfuckers probably already tried to do 150.
You're totally right.
And I knew he was grinding at that time. But, and then anyway, the guy ended up just basically walking away. And then I was like, hey man, what's going on? I'm MD. I'm here for tonight.
He's like hot off a fresh argument.
You're like, I'm gonna try to do 3 shows this year.
I'm like, they're gonna be killer.
They're gonna be the dopest 3 shows on earth.
Yeah, totally right. Like, so anyway, I just remember. I've never told that story, but that was like one of the first times I remember like walking.
First times I came across Emotions, I was super young. I always thought Emotions was way older than me, but he's the same age as me. But I went to like a battle. And he was there, and he was like, I don't know if I think he was battling. I don't remember what was going on. I was so young, and I was so drunk. But I was up in this top room, and there was a bunch of rappers up there, and we're all freestyling. And he just came up, and he like he just joined the cypher, not even battling. So like we're just like shitty, like we're just like a bunch of shitty rappers. Like I'm 13, 14. And maybe I'm 15, 16, somewhere around that. I don't even know. It's all a blur to me. But
High school.
He comes in, and he just like fucking rips it. Classic Emotion shit. And like all of a sudden it's like the cypher ends. Like no one wants to go after him.
Yeah.
He was just so fucking good. And I thought he was like
that used to happen.
5 years older than me at least. And then I find out he's the same age as me. Dude, that guy is like highly evolved when it comes to freestyling and like lyricism and shit like that.
His evolutionary peak was just like at a different acceleration.
Totally.
His you know, I have to say this. The last time I can actually remember even chatting with him outside of just like saying hi to him or something like that was he had me out as the featured producer for one of his I don't even know what they were, but he'd have like meetups of like rappers, and it would be like a circle, like there would be like ciphers all night and stuff like that. But he had me as a featured producer come out. This must have been like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe more than that. But I went out, and at the end of the night he gave me like a shirt, and so it was like an East Van shirt, but it was one of those ones where it's like it looked like it looked like what's the name of that clothing company? It's like a winter clothing. I can't remember the name, but anyways,
so it's like a bootleg East Van shirt.
Yeah, but it looked like another.
It wasn't like a Rob special fucking welcome to East Van. It was the bootleg version of that.
It looked like it looked like the logo or whatever, but then it was whatever. Anyway, so he gave me that, and I was grateful for that. But there was a rapper there that night that was like really feeling the beats. And because I had to bring enough for like an hour of shit, right? So this guy came up and was like, I had no idea that people I knew him, but he came up and was like, "What's up, man? What's up?" And he was wearing like at the time, I don't know if you remember the fashion like about 5 years ago, but like the fashion of rappers, like a lot of dudes were wearing like man purses, like Louis Vuitton man purses.
That was like a drug dealer thing. Wasn't it?
Yeah, but like they were wearing it.
There were some like douchey wannabe ass motherfuckers wearing.
But it was like a Gucci, like he was wearing like almost like imagine like a 1920. Yeah, like but a 1920s like cop, like that would have like a holster. It was like
you're talking about the leather ones.
Yeah. Okay, but it was like a purse. So it was just
I remember that was like a hipster thing.
It was a weird thing, right? But it was like this rapper dude. Anyway, he's like. He basically looked hard as fuck, and he like came up and was like, "What's up with those beats, man? What's going on?" And I was like, "Hey, man, I'm available for hire if you want to talk."
Please tell me he whipped a CD out of that fucking
little
purse.
Wait a minute, it gets even better. He goes, "Okay, well, we'll see about that. You know, I'm thinking like I get people try to throw me a lot of beats all the time and all that." And I was like, "Well, you came to me." You know, and then so I was just trying to be cool about it, but like at the same time, there's a lot of people in the room, and they're all talking over each other. So he was like, "Okay, cool, well, maybe I'll hit you up." And I don't know what possessed me to do this, but I after he said, "Okay, well, I'll hit you up," I leaned over and I tapped with the back of my hand on his chest, on his like man purse thing, and I said, "Well, I hope you have more than good intentions in there."
No, you didn't. What a line. What a line.
Oh, my God. Just stick with it. Then he went and powdered his nose.
It showed up this guy knew guys we knew, and it was just like, yo, this guy fucking said this shit to me. I don't know what I was thinking.
I love it.
I would honestly, 199 times out of 100, I would never have said that. But I said that. That was
That's great.
silly.
I say fucking garbage shit to people all the time, but that's
just,
perfect.
Like, really, you gotta imagine, like, just the back of my hand. There's the, like, just tap it really quick, like, hope you have more of the good intentions in there.
Yeah. Oh, you're the best trash talker on earth, right here.
Silly fuck. You are.
You know what I noticed that you don't do?
What's
when
up?
you introduce yourself on the podcast, you don't say award-winning podcast.
Well,
We used to.
I did throw it around a little bit just because it's such a, like, I thought it was really kind of a joke, like kind of funny.
I've never won an award, so if I won a fucking award, even if it had nothing to do with podcasts, I'd be like, I'm award-winning, Joe McNeely, Mr. Archive. This is the Liquid Sunshine podcast. There would be award-winning in front of everything I said.
Well,
Yeah, I don't see why
it's
not.
funny, man, because like, if what you're referencing is the West Ender Award.
Yeah.
The funny thing about that award is not only
Silver medal.
Yeah, not only were we like proud to accept the silver because
Who won first? Who won the gold?
The podcast that won first is the deserving podcast won first.
Insane. Stop podcasting yourself.
Yeah,
are they
stop podcasting
Yeah, fuck
yourself.
those guys.
Come on. So Dave,
I never heard of them.
Dave Shumka,
Go fuck themselves.
Dave Shumka and Graham Clark.
They're like internationally acclaimed.
Yeah,
podcaster.
they're like just
But they're from Vancouver, right?
yeah.
Okay, well, you want that gold, right?
They're brilliant.
We're gonna have to mark those dudes out.
Check this out. These guys have been doing their show, I think, longer than Kevin Smith has been doing
really? I didn't know
Smodcast. I think that's. I mean, this might be it. Is that fact or fucked? What do you think?
Yeah,
Is that
that's fucked.
That's
no,
fucked,
No,
right?
no,
Yeah.
Kevin Smith's been doing shit longer than that.
It's no, but seriously, I'm talking like they were in the first wave. Like they were with like
And this is a Vancouver podcast?
Adam Carolla, like around that era. Like they've been doing it so long. Like it's over 10 years at least. They've been doing it a long time. Because here's what's really interesting is like they're such a beast at what they do that when I had nothing to do with the nominations or anything like that. So when I was told it was already like happening, and then when I was like, oh, well, who would we even be up against? And in my head, I was like, well, probably stop podcasting yourself. And then in that, I already conceded that I was like, well, they'll win. That I didn't win. So the fact that we won second, I was like, oh, well, that's kind of like gold to me. That's like, because these guys were going to win no matter what.
You know what we
right?
need to do? We need to like Elena Bob at those motherfuckers. Just straight up chop their dicks off.
Damn.
Fair enough.
Mr. Archive with an aggressive threat to the long-standing institution of stop podcasting
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. Stop podcasting yourself, dudes.
That's straight from Liquid Sunshine,
Chop
by
your
the
dick
way.
off.
Liquid Sunshine podcast tossing mad shots.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
2012, so.
Yeah, right.
no,
With
sorry,
our luck,
2008.
with our
2000
luck, they'll
look
pull
at
the
that.
straight up Bobbit shit. They'll get them shit sewn back on and come back even harder.
That's right.
Figuratively and literally.
Do porn.
Yeah.
They'll come back and do porn. C-Mart, you said that Stop Podcasting Yourself started when?
March 2nd, 2008.
Wow. So 10 years. They
Jesus.
just passed their 10 years.
I didn't even know
Yeah,
podcasts were around 10 years ago.
Dude, I still have to
And
explain
they got
what a
picked up
podcast
by
is.
Vancouver Podcast, or by Maximum Fun
Yeah.
on
Well,
20,
stop sucking
on
these dudes'
2010.
dicks. They don't need it. They're already
No,
they
they're
already got
good.
the gold.
They're really good guys, actually. They're
Yeah,
really good
they
guys.
seem
But the thing is, I appreciate you even bringing that up because it's funny to me because here's the real kicker. Okay, so I had nothing to do with anything that happened with this award the first time. But
Yeah.
the second, so I was like, when did I first hear about this? And I was like, oh, it was like a December. So this year, in December, I looked it up to be like, what do we have to do to maybe throw our hat in the ring again? You know, whatever. Maybe back
This
to back.
year we'll Anna Nicole Smith them this year.
That's right. And I was thinking, well, at least we get like back to back silvers.
Why is it always women that do horrible things like
I
that?
don't know, actually. That's a good point. I don't know why that is.
That's not true. Men do really horrible
Back to
things.
fucked.
That is a misnomer for sure.
I was just waiting for C-Mart to react like, how dare you guys?
No, I'm just saying, it's definitely not true.
Men are way worse,
Yeah.
but okay.
The worst. Like
Oh,
historically,
God.
men are the worst.
Yes.
But I was thinking like at the very least we'd have back-to-back silvers or something like that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So as I'm looking it up, I type in West Ender and it says the first thing that pops up is like West Ender, historic West Ender after 67 years to close its doors forever. So I was like, oh no. And I was like, so they're not running the contest this year? So that means on two levels. One, they can never take away our second place finish. And 2,
and let's just assume you're first this year.
Right. Well, wait. Wait. Even worse though. On another level, we will never ever be able to avenge that loss. We will always be second place, second overall.
Unless we restart that magazine ourselves.
Yeah, we have to restart it. But I think that's really funny because like now we'll always be this second overall, third-rate podcast. Just this regular.
Dude, man, we weren't even on a list. Nobody even called us. We didn't even make top 100.
Come on, son. I love your show, man. Liquid Sunshine Podcast. How can people follow it if they're so inclined?
So, I mean, we're on everything. I guess iTunes or any like any podcast app.
Have you guys sorted out your live shit yet? Because I've seen you guys do one stream live, I think.
The second one was the Epic interview because I went to Edmonton to meet Epic.
Right. By the way, first time I ever even met Epic was at a battle. I was in a tag team battle over Beats in 2004 in Winnipeg.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was in Winnipeg and I battled, and he was also battling in another bracket.
Yeah.
And I was battling. You know what was also there was Royalty and Big Bear. Rest in peace, Royalty. Love that guy, man. Travis was a really good dude. But those, like all those rappers, like I came up cutting my teeth in that shit. And then like to hear like Epic, like the fact that you were like, because I saw you like ciphering with Epic, and
big up Chadio. You would know what happened was
I love Chadio too.
Well, back in the day, Bevy Swift and Frank Rhymes and Chadio were always bumping Epic, and I was like, I didn't understand it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck. What is this shit?
Yeah.
And because I didn't really take a good listen to it. And they always bumped it like, no, peep it. And then Bevy Swift one time was like, yo, here's a gig stick. It has everything Epic on it. So I took it and I put it on my fucking iPod and I listened to every song. And you get an understanding of like how honest, like the honesty behind it and like what it actually is. Like,
you have to explain to people like he's not a traditional rapper in the sense that like he's not like it's almost like the farthest extent of spoken word versus the musicality of rap. Like it's like right on the precipice of those.
He's very witty. He's borderline. He's genius, man. Like and the way
he's very unique.
He's super unique, and it's a fucking type of genius. So like when you see it, you'll understand. Like if you have to listen to it thoroughly, and you have to actually delve right into the shit to really get it. And then when you get it, or either you hate it. Because I got a lot of my homeboys are like, how do you like that shit? I'm like, but like I don't think I think you'd like it because they're so stuck in that fucking hardcore shit. Like it has to be hardcore. It has to be this type of hip hop.
Like he just has like
it's so fucking Canadian. You know, like he did that 8:30 in Newfoundland album. Like that's the most fucking. You know how CBC was always like 7:30 in Canada, 8:30 in Yukon, like he did, so he did like it. Just like it's like his whole idea of it was like he's like I'm super Canadian. He's not from Newfoundland, but like he's like the whole idea of it is like he's a little bit off, but he's super Canadian.
I love
you know
that.
What I mean?
I love
so 8:30 in 8:30 not Yukon.
Sorry,
8:30 in fucking Newfoundland, and then 7:30 in the rest of the it gets and everywhere else gets it, and that's like a CBC thing.
Nice.
And like. Shit like that, like a lot of shit goes over other people's heads, and he's kind of that dude. And like when I met him in person, he's that same fucking dude. He is.
I was
like
blown away that he was like still doing his. You know what I mean? Like.
He wasn't gonna drop any more albums, and now he's saying like me, Chadio, and all us dudes influenced him to do. He's gonna do another album this year.
Wow.
Yeah, he just tagged me in some shit. He's
That's
like, yo,
cool.
he's like, I'm dropping another album due to you guys.
That's
I'm
really
like,
sick.
Fuck yeah, dope, really dope.
You know what's kind of interesting about that? I want to tell you that the only fucking bar I really remember from that battle I was telling you about from Winnipeg. Like, think about this. This is how many years ago? Fucking years ago.
Yeah, like 15 years. Or something
how much
like
rap has occurred since then? So much.
4 songs.
Only 4 songs.
Yeah.
He's fact checking over here.
No kidding. Yeah. Well, the bar I'm gonna quote you right now is from Epic, and it was him on stage, and it killed. I'm talking like it was a room shaker. Like it fucking people were dying laughing at this. Okay.
Yeah.
So we should explain for anyone who doesn't know, but like Epic has like a very interesting timbre to his voice.
He's very Canadian.
It's like you gotta know that this is the way. Like he has a very specific way of talking. But not only was this like just barely on beat though for like it was like on beat battle, but it was just interesting. So like the team that went first obviously went in on like girlfriends and moms and shit like that. And so it's like something like that. And so I remember Epic being like, he's like, you talk about my mom, but you couldn't even get next to her. When I get home, I'm going to delete you off MSN Messenger. And everyone's like, oh, dude, that bar nowadays would like kind of be played, but you gotta understand, like at the
2004,
time, dude, seriously rocked the
Everyone
room.
just like, I was still using MSN.
And you look at it, he's always been great. He's always looked like how he hasn't aged a day since the 90s though. You see him back in the 90s, he looks exactly like that still, and he's just like always had like all his hair gray.
That's right.
Glasses, tall, pale.
The professor.
And with the very Canadian accent, and very Saskatoon accent, and like people like kind of don't see it coming, and that's what makes it even better. Like you don't see it coming, then he opens his mouth, and you're like, wait a second, this dude's saying something.
Shout out to Gruff the Druid and DJ Brace, by the way, because those guys were killing it that night, if I recall correctly. That's the first time I ever saw them. Good guys. I hate to say this, brother, but like all great episodes.
Oh God!
Unfortunately,
it's not over.
This one's
There's
winding.
More questions.
There are more questions.
Oh God!
I have to do
just one more.
I have to do.
Just give me one more question.
Okay, I'll give you one more.
Okay.
I do have to do a voiceover.
Okay, give me one more question, quick.
So, okay, give me one. Let me think.
I don't want it to ever end.
Okay, I got a question for you.
I want to stay in the beehive.
It's pretty rad here, right?
It is.
And I don't want this to end either. I want to get at the heart of something. Let me ask you this. This will be because we've been like kind of clowning around about shit and just joking about stuff. But let me ask you this: what aspect of yourself are you most keen on improving moving forward in your life?
I think it's got to be my relationship with my wife.
Okay.
Because
in what regard?
Because I'm a fucking mess, man. I'm just running about and doing whatever the fuck I want. Sometimes I don't come home. I mean, I'm related to the most beautiful woman on earth. Like in my mind, she's the best thing that's ever happened.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, like, you know how some people have like rap personas, like who you think they are.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually that guy that when I rap about, I'm doing most of the time.
I know.
So like
I 100% know.
So like I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of that dude that I wish, like I remember back in the day looking at dudes like me and being like, what the fuck is that guy doing at the party? Like that old ass motherfucker still being a dick.
You're a young fella.
Oh yeah, well I guess so. Well, not when you're hanging around with a bunch of 20-year-olds. You know, in their mid-20s, my wife mentioned this recently. She's like, look, we went to a show, and it's like I'm hanging around with all these dudes, and she's like, if this wasn't all your hip hop friends, it'd be kind of weird.
Really?
You hanging out with a bunch of guys in their early 20s. And I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, if we didn't have if hip hop wasn't bonding us and we weren't like dropping albums and doing shit together, and I wasn't here to support them as like artists, it would be kind of weird. Like a 35-year-old dude hanging out with guys in their early 20s.
I see what you're saying, and I can respect her opinion on that. But I would counter with this. So like outside of music, I would just say, like, what if your personality was so incredible that people wanted to be around you? If you're so magnetic in your charisma that people wanted to be around you? I just roll
up in my van. I'm like, hey, you kids like rap music? Yo, I got records in the back. I got records in the back. Let's roll.
I just think, like, seriously, though, I think you're exactly the kind of person that young artists should meet. That's the fact. Right, yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like there are many issues right now in all types of genres and all types of scenes, locally, regionally, nationally, etc. Okay, but a major issue that I think separates a lot of the generations is just that there is a separation between the generations.
Yeah. I'm trying to give them what I didn't have when I was younger, right? Like a platform for them to actually show their music off. And I know that our podcast isn't like the biggest thing, but it's at least a step towards them getting out there a little bit more.
I share that exact sentiment. I know we're not the biggest thing out there. I know we're just like small guys out there. I fucking get that. And I think there's tremendous responsibility in people that have experience and knowing how things go down, being able to pass down even just a small module of information, just a little tidbit here and there.
Some little things that we learn.
Certain things like, hey, you know what? If you're on a bill, you fucking stay for the entirety of the bill.
Yeah.
And you
show
watch
support.
And you watch every performer. If you bounce before that, don't expect to call back because you're definitely being disrespectful.
That is a really good tip.
Absolutely. You want another tip out there, young folks? Keep all your publishing if you really expect to do anything, because that one record that you think that isn't going to go anywhere maybe goes somewhere, and you gave away your publishing.
Here's
for
the best.
I would say that's tough though.
I think the best. I don't mean to crush dreams, but here's the best tip of all tips.
All right, let's give tips.
Make sure you fucking have a backup career, because it's 1 out of a fucking billion if you're going to make it out and actually do some shit. And that's not crushing dreams, because I think that I'm like, art's important and everybody should be doing it, and everybody should be exploring that. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's painting, tattooing, fucking any kind of graffiti, any kind of singing, playing an instrument, anything. Do it. Be passionate about it as much as possible, but don't be like, yo, this is the only thing I'm ever going to do, because that's a crazy idea. We all had it. All of us. We all had it at one point. But like, I got my shit crushed at an early age, because I started meeting dudes that were like, that had been doing it, that I thought were fucking successful, and they're like not even close to what I think. Yeah. Right. So like even guys that you look at it that you think are at the top are like within Vancouver are still struggling like a mother.
Exactly. Yeah. Like once you go to a few parties, meetings, etc., where you see some of the realities of some of these guys, and like you're like, oh, you couldn't pay your phone bill this month, kind of thing, and you're just like, oh, okay, well, wait a minute though, but you made blank record. That's fucking insane, right? Yeah. And that not to, like you said, not to crush the dreams of people out there listening.
Because you should definitely follow that shit. And then there's like, and you know what? That doesn't take away from it, because you might be talented and you might drop one of the dopest records in Vancouver ever, and it might not get appreciated now, but it might get appreciated in the future, or maybe you'll influence somebody that will make something even better than that.
That's
something, you know what I mean? It's important.
That's the ticket right there.
It's important that we hold on to this art, because it's a beautiful art form.
It's important. It really is important it's important that you influence the next generation any way you can, because.
And Mecca was saying that shit too. He was talking about how like don't let yourself get down, and don't let other people's negative vibes push on your shit. And like, he got real deep into that, and I believe, and you know, I've thought that a long time, but to hear somebody else, that's what I took from that episode. Hear somebody else talk about it openly like that, I was like, yeah, man, don't let those, if you have somebody dragging you down, or like dudes that saying you can't do it, get them the fuck out. Just follow your dreams. And I mean,
Mac is a really beautiful soul, man. I love that guy. He is someone who's really in touch with his art, and he knows exactly what he wants to do with it, and he really runs with it. I'm looking forward to peeping that shit. Yeah, man, I think you really like it. It's dope. You know what, dude? I need to really underline this though. Joe, you are a good fucking guy. You were one of the good ones out there, man. You're a really good dude. I think everyone would be in a state of disservice if they don't go check out Liquid Sunshine Podcast, check out Spits and Giggles. Honestly, like, just follow Joe, because I'm sure you guys will see straight away, like, the fucking stories just pour out of you. Like, you have some of the best.
I need to stop making so many stories though. Like, that's what I'm saying. I need to stay home with my wife every once in a while. I'm out there getting buck wild way too much.
On a side note, I love that you had the vulnerability to even say that you were like looking to improve that aspect of you.
Because that's totally the one that I'm looking forward to. It's not that I need to. I'm going to.
No, that's even better that you have the self-awareness that you want to do it.
I've been married for almost a year. It's almost my 1-year anniversary. Right. I think next step is probably having a baby or something like that, right?
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I think I should become an adult myself before I try to fucking bring another person into this earth, right?
I'm getting married in September.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to just having it over, because I feel like my life's been on pause since the engagement. Like, we've just been trying to get this wedding sorted out. But I am really looking forward to being married, and I just want to like move on with this.
Can I give you some advice about marriage?
Please.
That I've learned?
Oh, please.
Okay,
please.
So it's gonna be stressful. It's gonna be a lot of fucking work. And for me, it got to the fucking point where, it got to the fucking point where I was like, why do people even fucking do this? That's how I was getting.
I asked that question a lot.
It's a bad fucking stage to get into, and it's a bad state of mind to get into.
Right.
But when the fucking moment happened, and the party started, and all my best friends were there, and the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, and marriage or no marriage, I will.
Talk about the actual wedding, like the actual ceremony. Yeah.
When it finally happened, and I was walking out, that's when everything just like boom, it all dropped, all that stress, everything, all the worries.
Good.
It just all goes away. It just fucking goes away.
Good, because right now I'm just like,
it sucks. This part sucks.
What haven't you done?
I don't mind saying this right now, but like, I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't really mind if no one RSVPs, because I can't wait to collect that deposit back from the caterer and just Liz and I'll just
we did everything ourselves. We don't have rich parents or anything like that.
No,
so like,
we're doing everything ourselves.
Yeah, we did everything on a budget, and it was a struggle. And we only spent like $6-7 grand. We like really budgeted. We really budgeted.
I'm sure we're very close to that. We're very close.
You'll
to that.
end up going over. You'll
grand.
end up going over that no matter what, a little bit here and there. But like when it comes down to it, you'll understand the point of it. It's the best party of your entire life. It is the party. You know.
I'm stoked now. Dude,
you
just got me so stoked for my own fucking wedding, man. That's awesome.
I fucking. Chadio was my bartender.
Oh, that's sick.
Motherfucking K-Rec was our DJ.
Oh, sick.
You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Just everything came together. It was the best party of my life.
I love that, man.
If there's anything I can do to help you, for real though,
that's a bona fide offer, and I have you on camera talking about it. There's no getting out of this now.
If I need to help, I'm right here.
There's no getting out now. I love it, brother.
I know. Let's end it. You wanted to end this 10, 15 minutes ago.
No. I'm glad we fucking did this. This is
11 minutes ago.
Okay.
No, it doesn't even matter, honestly. Time doesn't matter. Time's a man-made construct.
Damn right.
Oh, true.
I don't give in to the illusion of time.
That's right.
Infinite time.
You know what, man? I really love this show, dude. I think this
it.
episode fucking turned out even better than I could ever imagine, dude. I really love it.
Getting drunk before it helped.
Allegedly,
yeah. But you guys seem so well put together on here. I'm like, yeah, kinda.
We get wrecked, son.
Kinda, yeah. I wanted to say this though. If you guys wanted to check out Liquid Sunshine Podcast, it's very easy. Just Google that shit. It's available on all major streaming outlets, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And
I don't know when this is coming out, but we got a show. Well, this is Sunday.
Yeah,
this
please
plug before Sunday.
No, plug. Yeah, this will come out. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, well, Chadio's Cancer's fundraisers this Sunday at Fortune Sound.
That's actually my birthday.
You should come out.
It's
gonna be a blast.
I might be out of town. I don't know. We'll see what's
Anybody that's here, come check it out. But even if this drops after, you can
Fortune?
still even if this does drop after, you can donate to Chadio.
That's right.
At GoFundMe. Awesome. Just look up GoFundMe Chadio.
And that's really.
How would you spell that?
Chadio, Chadio.
Yeah, okay. Chadio. And anyone who knows anything about music and rapping in Canada should know about Chadio. His involvement with Imagination
Tree Trunk. Imagination Tree Trunk.
Imagination Tree Trunk.
They're gonna do a rare set at this. It's gonna be off the
Chadio
hook.
has one of the most spectacular double time flows.
He's amazing.
Maybe I've ever heard. He's unbelievable.
Before I ever knew him, I was like looking up to him. I'm excited that I get to be his friend.
Yeah.
In my older age, because back in the day I used to be like this Chadio, the Imagination Tree Trunk in general. I was like all those dudes, Azriel
and Kia. And just shout out to Kia because she's so amazing, and I'm just I was very concerned when I heard about the news about Chadio, but I'm very excited to see him have some positive news.
He'll be good. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. He's strong as fuck, man.
So yeah, I mean, not for nothing, but you're the fucking best, dude. I appreciate it.
Thanks, bro. I feel the same way. You know I'm a fan of this show.
Oh, and if you are a fan of this show as well, you can go ahead and check out intergalacticinterviews.com. And it's like very easy to look up our past and previous episodes. This was episode 170, so there's tons of content out there for you to check it out. If you guys are so interested, you can follow us on iTunes, Stitcher. Please subscribe on YouTube. Very easy. And you know what? I'll take this opportunity as well to let you know about an amazing time you can have at Float House. What's Float House?
It's cozy up in here.
Oh, Float House is an amazing isolation tank therapy aquatic center. Where is that located? Vancouver. Whereabouts? Gastown. Oh, what if I don't live in a Gastown? That's okay. There's like 6 or 7 locations. What? That's amazing. What exactly is an isolation float tank? Well, it's simply the best way to unlock the mysteries of your mind. Or you can just simply spend that time, 45 minutes to 90 minutes, in complete silence and tranquility as you explore the serenity of your own soul. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It definitely invites all types of walks of life.
I need to try it.
I think you'd love it. You've never floated?
I've never done it. I've heard great things about it.
Oh, you would love it.
This place is peaceful as fuck too.
It's so good.
This place gives me that vibe.
Yeah.
Where
it makes me wonder all the time why we're here.
Yeah, I'm super chilled out right now, just chilling in here.
Yeah, it's so good.
Even the front desk lady was like, "Okay, your 9 minutes of silence starts now."
It's even quieter though, so it's like we just want you to know.
So silent.
Thank you for coming. We're like, whoa, thank you.
Okay, one last question for you.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so we've been doing this podcast shit for like around 4 years, and we only got 50 episodes out.
That's an amazing achievement. That means you've been doing it for at least weekly almost a whole year.
No. Yeah. Well, no. 4 years spread out. We're
almost 50 episodes over 4 years.
We're almost at 50 episodes.
Well, I believe in quality over quantity. Maybe you're doing much better.
When did you start this? It's been around for a while.
Let's see. I had my first
2017.
I had my first migraine. Just crushing. That's like an episode
every 2 days.
Yeah. Let's see. This was all kind of spawned out of the idea that I had my first major migraine. I had a major like thunderclap migraine. They call it. In
Zeus is involved.
Yeah, in September of 2013. And the only major break we've taken, other than like Christmas, we take a couple weeks at Christmas every year. There was about a 6-month gap between the Bank Vault era of like episode around 69, 70 to that era from the Bank Vault to Float House, which was about episode 70, 71. Salt Vault. So that was the only real big
banging them
break.
out, and their fucking quality is fuck.
Dude, that's very kind of you to say that.
Just do this forever.
I really want to. We'll see what happens.
You have to.
Yeah,
you have to now. I said it.
I know. Now my fate has been sealed.
Yeah. This will be forever.
If you guys are so inclined to check out Float House, though, I really recommend using our podcast promo code IIPodcast. It gets you 20% off your next float. It's super easy. You can do it in person or you can do it online. Book your next float and get 20% off your next float. IIPodcast. I float. We float. Mr. Archive's gonna float. Hey, son,
we're gonna float.
We all float down here. That's right. It's gonna be amazing. I think you guys should definitely check it out, and more importantly, check out Liquid Sunshine Podcast. Subscribe, iTunes, Stitcher. Subscribe to us. Make sure you like us on YouTube and subscribe. We love it. That's the place we want to grow, man. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it.
You're awesome, man. Thank you.
Bro, thank you so much for doing this. Next week, we have an amazing show for you guys, and we'll see you all very soon. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye. It's the best, dude. You guys are the best.
Fun, man.
For real, though.